Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here with my first ever MOC on Almas, and I've got to say, considering everything, how long it took me to build this, how much money I spent on this, everything, I am still very proud of how this turned out. As I hope most of you agree, this MOC is really something else. It has truly lived up to my expectations, and quite frankly, I could not have asked for much better with the pieces, resources, money, and just all that I had at my disposal. And quite frankly, I just personally think it looks incredible. Now, I don't want to make this video too long. Suffice to say, I am very proud of this. I really want to make my first ever MOC something to be proud of. You know, something where you can look at it and go, you know, that's not bad. That's really not bad. Now, obviously, this will not be the best or biggest or, in fact, really most spectacular MOC I ever do because it is my first one. And bear in mind, I had to buy all of these pieces from nothing. I had nothing to work with in the beginning. At the beginning, I had no grass. I had no 2x4s. I mean, obviously, I had the sets and the minifigures, but even some of them I had to buy, you know. So bear in mind, I started this back in August, you know, spending money and saving up and all that. And finally, here we are, beginning of December. It is pretty late, it's taken some time, but finally, it is done, ready to present to you. And quite frankly, I could not have asked for much better from this MOC. I'm truly proud, and I'm going to say I think this is actually quite worthy as a first ever sort of attempt at a MOC. But anyway, so I'm sure you're going to want to get into this and actually view it, actually see what's happening. It's pretty crowded, as you can see. There's a whole other thing even inside the base. So let's just get into this right away. Alright, so here we have GeneralJSmith fighting with the Battle Droid Commander right now. He is at the moment leading this brigade, and this is actually, this MOC is exact continuation of my first ever stop motion, if you can call it that. It was kind of more experiment stop motion, but I'm not going to go into that right now. It's my 300 subscribers thing. It is like the third most popular video on my entire channel with more than 30,000 views, so you've probably seen it. And this MOC is an exact continuation of that, except from another part of the planet. This is, by the way, Almas, which is a planet you probably have never heard of, and that's kind of the point of it, because I wanted to sort of bring a new planet, you know, into the Star Wars galaxy. Well, it's not like, I didn't make it up, it is a genuine planet in the expansion region, which is sort of like the Outer Rim. Anyway, so yeah, he's fighting with the Battle Droid Commander there, and he's leading this squadron, along with Commander Gree, who is just taking down battle droids like there's no tomorrow. Also with Hard Hat, who is the, well, the kind of grumpy clone. And right now he's just commandeering a stat and trying to kill all the droids he can. And yeah, so I think we should just pan back, zoom out, and view the entire MOC, which I've got to say I do really enjoy. Now, the Separatists far outnumber the clones. There are only like 20, well, less than that now, clones on the battlefield. They've all either been killed or, you know, because this base isn't really a major haven. As you can see, there's not really much to it. It's basically a hangar and a command center, so it's not as such that important. Hence why there's not many clones, but the Separatists want to take over all the little ones, so it'll be easier for them to take over the big, important clone bases. But anyway, so we're going to start at the back here. You can see throughout this MOC there's just little patches of grass. I did at the beginning want to make the entire thing completely grassed over, but I thought that wouldn't look realistic and it wouldn't look very good, and I just really wouldn't enjoy it. Also the fact I didn't even have enough grass and it would take an hour to do. So you can see just little patches around here, and I do like to say it came out very well. You got some droids coming out of the grass. You got a mix between super battle droids and normal battle droids. There are two droid carriers. As you can see, one of which is just coming into the battlefield, which is dropping off droids. As you can see, like so. One of which came in a little while ago and was shot down by that ATTE. So that's why it was destroyed. And in the blast, it also took out a lot of droids around it. So that's why there's a lot of broken droids. This particular not Star Wars Trooper, 41st Elite Kashyyyk Trooper, whatever it's called, is climbing the wreckage to sort of, he's a bit like Hard Hat in the way that he wants to just go through and battle all the battle droids down, doesn't really care. You got some clones on the trees. Well, this isn't really a tree, more a bush type tree. This proper thing though, this is a tree. It's actually a lot more delicate than it looks. Like, seriously, some of these things, if you barely breathe on them, they'll fall over. And you got a dead clone there. He was shot by a droid. Moving back over here, we've got a clone trying to jump onto that. And he's going to try and take them out. We've got an AAT here, BTW, the new AAT will be coming in 2015. I'm not a big fan of it at all. I will still continue to use these AATs in MOCs and stop motions. I do not like the new one at all, but yeah. Anyway, so that's just coming along. It's slightly, by the way, there's also these patches of sort of mud, these brown, reddish brown pieces dotted about the place. Like, there's one big patch there, and there's a patch there. These actually cost quite a bit. You'd be surprised, but anyway. So there you go, that's the AAT. Moving around, you can see as the desolation continues. We've got some more droids here. You've got a dead clone there. Commander Gree and some of his troopers are just trying to blast through all these things. You've got a few bark speeders. Got a bark speeder there. Got a bark speeder there. That's a destroyed bark speeder, because that was also shot by one of the AATs. You have here another bark speeder. It's not really destroyed, but it just like the pilot was killed and it sort of fell over, obviously, with that pilot. So these two clones are using it as like a little barricade. You've got a destroyed STAP here. Obviously, you've got a lot of droids, both destroyed and not destroyed, all around the place. And as I showed you before, that's GeneralJSmith fighting with the Battle Droid Commander. And you've got hard hat on the STAP right there. Just moving along, you've got a clone turbo tank coming out of the base. Also within the base, I'm not sure you can see it, you have an ATTE and quite a few other little sets in case of like they need to escape. So yeah, as you can see here, this ATTE was completely destroyed pretty quickly after it actually came out into this battle. It was pretty much blown away by these AATs pretty quick. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, on this AAT, you can actually see this clone is trying to journey up and trying to shoot the droid. Got some droids on the AAT. You know, this guy is trying to kill them all. And all that. By the way, this is the little entrance. This is only 8 studs wide. It's made for the minifigures and the people. That is the large entrance made for the actual sets. So yeah. Nothing really to this hallway at all. It's just a little passageway. And yeah, basically, oh yeah, and on the clone turbo tank, you've obviously got Batman. Well, I say obviously, but I mean, I decided to put Batman on here because, well, because he's Batman. And I thought, hell, whatever, I'm going to put Batman on there because he's Batman. And you got some clones in the clone turbo tank which are running out onto the battle. So yeah, you've got another little tree here. Nothing really too much to that tree. And you got a little AT-AT. So yeah. As I showed you before. And yeah, basically, so I've got to say, I really do like, particularly how this big scene came out. I think it's mostly because of the amount of battle droids and super battle droids, which I think is what really made it look so cool. Just because, I don't know, I just love those scenes where everything looks so hectic, so haywire, you know, and everything's just, you know, stuff's just happening and you can't really keep track of it. I just love those sort of things. So yeah. So I've got to say, I do really like this. I think it is really cool. Very nice. You've got, as I showed you before, all these patches around the place. Alrighty. And I believe that's it then. I believe let's actually go onto the base itself. So, onto the base. Up top, we have the gunship, which has just landed. Got some pilots in there. You got the clones, which are coming out of the gunship and running into the command center, which I will show you in a minute. Here, though, an ARC trooper also came with the gunship to try and assist, obviously, the battle. And he's got a minigun, and he decided to just, instead of actually going down the battlefield, he's just going to stay up here and just try to shoot them all down with the minigun. Just because he thinks that, you know, that'll be, like, more easier to do, if you get what I mean. And you got a little turret here with the clone gunner, and he's obviously shooting down as well. So yeah, you got the landing pad with the gunship on top, of course. There's kind of a mix of clones here. You've got a clone sergeant there. You've got a few. You've got two phase 2 clones. Got another clone sergeant. Got a normal clone trooper. But yeah, really. Now this entire base does open up. Like, you can see the inside, but it does take a little while to do. First of all, though, we're going to show you the command center. All right, so this easily lifts up. These pieces actually cost more than you may think. Like, it costs quite a bit. All right. And now in there, you can see they're running through this door. This door, by the way, can close. It's not motorized or anything, but it does slide, like so. I got this design from actually Palpatine's Arrest, that set. In other words, this set. I got the exact same design. I decided to incorporate it. Obviously, I made my own, but even so. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And by the way, the door down there and down there do close. I will show you that in a minute. Anyway, so coming in, you can see control panels all around the entire area. Obviously, this is the command center, so yeah. And you can see the clones are running through, and they're running into this area, which is the little like bird post thing, you know, where you can shoot down and all that. Here, I actually want to show you, this is a new clone trooper I created, who's going to work alongside GeneralJSmith and Hardhat, and you're going to see him in stop motions and things. This is Comet, and he's like the clone technician, you know, he's all that sort of techie stuff, and all that sort of, you know, he's very technological. He doesn't as much just go along with it, he really just tries to, he's more a scientist, if you will, of the group. So there you go, so that's Comet, and he's going to be going along adventures with GeneralJSmith and Hardhat. So yeah. Oops. Okay. And you see here now, they run along this hall. I'm actually going to show you. You see through the glass, or plastic, but even so. Right, they'll run through that door, they'll run along, and they'll go into this area. Yeah, they'll run along this hall, and they will run out here. This is where they will end up, like so. And you can see if I actually move this along, okay, see they are actually standing on something. Not sure you're going to make that out, but they are standing on something to give them a bit more perch. You can see, and they're just shooting down from like this bird nest type thing. You know, to give them a bit of leverage, to give them a bit of an advantage over the clone droid, sorry. You know, so yeah, and they just run along there. Now, the more clever of you may say, oh, well, how on earth can these clones get to the ground floor? Because there's no ladder, there's no way down. Yeah, well, shut up, because quite frankly, this MOC took way too long to make already, and I can't bother to make a section somewhere where, you know, they can get down. Let's just say, for whatever reason, they can get down from here. So, there you go. Very nice. Obviously, this can support the gunship very well. You can lift the gunship. Oops. You can lift the gunship up. Yeah. And there you go. So yeah, really. Also, this section does come up. It all comes as one piece because I thought to try and make this roof detachable, really, it would have affected the structural integrity of the entire bit. So I attached the roof just on it. So it is all one piece here. Okay, and then we can see in here. Now the entire hangar of this bit is completely empty, apart from the set and some minifigures. There's nothing particularly special as such. As I said before, these do have doors. These are big, like, bulkhead doors. Now, you have to actually slide these. They're not motorized or anything. They're extremely simple. They are literally, if I pick one up, that's what they are. They're just, you know, like 7 2x4 light blue grey bricks piled on top of each other, and then they slide along on there. That's literally what they are. There's nothing more to them. And there you go. Now it's closed. And you can see here, it's closed off. And of course, if you slide them along, oops, like so. They do slide along, like so. Okay, now the main bit of this hanger, however, isn't really this bit. It is actually inside this hanger where you want to see all the good stuff that's happening on. So we're going to show you, well, I'm going to show you right now. And here we are then, inside the actual hanger. Now all I've done, by the way, to give you this image, is literally taken these two base plates off, so basically taking the roof off, and that is two base plates. It is kind of difficult to do attached because they're kind of flimsy, and hence why you have this bar here, because I did put them on just normally without this bar, when this bar wasn't there, and there was this obviously big dip in the middle, especially when you're putting stuff like the gunship on, which does weigh a fair amount. So I put this bar here, which is pretty sturdy, if I do say so myself. You can see like so. Yeah. But yeah, this is basically pretty simple. It's just complete 4 walls. I know sometimes in MOCs you can do it like where you'd have a wall not there, say one of the side walls or say the back wall, so that you can actually see in and you can attach the roof, so that wouldn't be an issue. But I thought, nah, I actually want to have a full thing where it does have all the walls and, you know, it looks like a proper full-size thing. By the way, these walls are pretty sturdy, you know, pretty tough, because they're completely made of 2x4 bricks. Like, there's literally nothing else in here. So, I'm actually tempted to say that these could probably take my weight, which is saying something. But I'm obviously not going to try it. Anyway, so inside the hanger here, we have a number of sets, which, you know, aren't on the battlefield. We have a couple of these turrets, or a couple of these cannon things, which could be moved out. They're not active right now. We have a pilot here. Let's see that. Next to the other ATCE, there are 2 of them. One of them obviously was very much destroyed and completely blown to bits. So the other one is going to come out after the clone turbo tank has gone out into the battlefield. Then this one will come out. There's the clone gunner in there. You also have a Coruscant police gunship. This is, I know you may think logically, why don't they just have a normal Republic gunship in here? Well, that is because quite simply it wouldn't have fit in the base, or, well, not properly, not with these other sets. So I thought that, hell, it is a Republic gunship of sorts, and, you know, they could use it in battle, because it does have weapons, and it does have some sort of defense, but obviously it's not really militarized, it's not really meant for war like the Republic gunship is. But even so, it is smaller and more compact, and perhaps they could use it, I mean, in like a really crisis situation. So you've got a couple of pilots running in there. Then you've got these troopers who are running to these swamp speeders. And obviously you can try and man them and go out there as well. By the way, these are the swamp speeder battle packs. They're not the actual turn 10 full-size swamp speeders, just because, not to say that they're like worse or anything, I actually like turn 10 ones more, I just don't have any. So yeah, basically. And yeah, really, there's nothing really particularly special here. As you can see, it is mostly just sets and the clones running to the vehicles, like so, basically. Now this is a really sturdy wall. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is a door. Like, there is a door for this entire thing. Now this is exactly the same type of door as these doors. As in, it just slides, there's no mechanism or anything like that. To do it, however, I'm just going to have to move the clone turbo tank. Oh, this is quite difficult. Okay. And then, this simply, you see here, this big slab of Lego. It's basically just one massive slab. So yeah. Alright, now this simply slides along. And if it doesn't get stuck, it's meant to, there we go. It slides in that slot, like so, and now the base is officially closed with the door. You see? Oh, good. And there we go. So it does have a door. It is actually kind of heavy, heavier than you may think. And it did take a little while to sort of figure this out, you know, with this bar going along the entire way and with the door coming down and all this. It did take a little bit of tinkering, but nonetheless, it's done now. But there you go then, really. By the way, if you want to see, that's where the clone turbo tank was. And you just want grass on that mud. So yeah. And this is a little pathway, by the way, for the clones to run out of. But yeah, really. That is basically the base. Nothing really much more to it. And I think let's just conclude this video and give my general thoughts on this entire thing, which I've got to say, I am pretty proud of. I personally think it turned out great, and I can't wait to do more of these in the future. And thus, here we are. I have done it. It's completely done. My first ever MOC. My word, to say this took a long time, to say this was forever in the planning is such an understatement. I know that, you know, some big MOCs can take a while, and really compared to a lot of other MOCs on YouTube, this is kind of average, you know, maybe even a bit small. But holy cow, this took a lot of planning. Or not a lot of planning, just like it was planned for a lot of time. Now, I said in one of my previous updates, if anyone could guess, the first video I ever mentioned a MOC, even mentioned it, then I would give them a shout out. No one did. No one got it right. By the way, the first time I ever mentioned a MOC, I kid you not, you can go back in my video history and check this, was, I believe, in my second ever update. Ever. And that is kind of crazy, which happened sometime like April 2013. That's how long I've been planning to do some sort of MOC. Now, obviously, I've only started buying parts and I only really got the money since August this year. But even then, it still took a lot of time and a lot of planning. And quite frankly, yeah. Now, that's also the reason you haven't been seeing as many videos, or at least you haven't been seeing as many normal videos from me. Like, you've been seeing a lot of updates and stuff. You haven't been seeing as many classic reviews. Geez, I haven't done a classic review since forever ago. You haven't been seeing many of those proper videos, and that's because obviously I only have this table. This is the only table I have to work with. I have that table that's got stuff on it and all that. So, you know, if I'm building a MOC or something like that, then it takes up the entire table, so I cannot do these other things, you see. But don't worry, now that this MOC's done, videos will return back to normal. I will be doing reviews. Obviously, this is good timing because I want to do the 2015 reviews. Not all of them probably, just, you know, some of them, the ones I really want to get. But anyway, so there we are. This is the base then. I am really, really proud of it. Please check out my Flickr. Link will probably be down in the description, assuming I remember, where I post pictures of a lot of stuff. Seriously, you should really follow me on Flickr. I'm not going to encourage you to follow me on other social networks. I do have them, but in all honesty, I really rarely post anything, so I'm not really going to recommend it if I don't really post that much. I don't know, I'm just not into it. But anyway, so I do recommend you follow me on Flickr, because I do post pictures quite a lot. But yeah, really, this MOC took forever to make, took forever to plan. I have no idea how many hundreds of pounds went into this, but it was genuinely hundreds of pounds, and that's not even including the sets themselves, although some of them I did actually buy. For example, I only had one AAT at the beginning of this, and I only had one of those troop transports, so to buy another one of them, I bought, you know, a fair amount of stuff here, and it's kind of ridiculous. Seriously, I mean, I made so many trips to Pick-a-Brick, it is unbelievable. But anyway, yeah, but I'm really proud of this now. Of course, you have to remember, this is my first ever MOC, and I built this completely from scratch. I had nothing to work with originally. I had none of these 2x4s. I had no grass, no mud pieces. I didn't even have some of the sets. I didn't have some of the minifigures. I had very little to work with at the beginning. But I'm really proud of how this turned out. Now, I already have planned what my second MOC is going to be. It's going to be a Separatist MOC. I'm not going to tell you any more than that. It will be coming some point next year, after the 2015 winter sets. I don't know when, but at some point. But yeah, really. So, just really an overview. This is the clone base then on Almas, which is, by the way, a planet in the Outer Rim, which is there, sort of place. Or somewhere around there. Somewhere in the outer region. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I don't really know what to say. I just really don't want to stop this video because I just love looking at this thing. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video. Please like this video if you did like it. Please leave down in the description other planets or other things you want me to do, other MOCs, you know, and obviously whether you like this MOC, because if you did, then great. But then I will see you in my next video. The end of the year is coming soon. So much is going to happen. I've got so many sets to review that I haven't even got around to. I've got like a Christmas set down there, which I haven't even reviewed yet. But I will see you then. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a truly great thing to do. It did take a lot of time, but I am very proud of the result, and I really, even granted, take everything that's happened, take all the videos I missed, I would have still done this anyway, because I really did enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video at some point. Stay awesome. Bye, troops.